It's Brian Preston, the Money Guy.
Be honest about blind spots and limitations. Know what you know and know what you don't know. And guess whose time it is to get on the hot seat?
All right, so
Old Sweats.
You know, I was so fortunate that I went to the finest university in all the land. I graduated from the University of Georgia. I have a financial planning degree from there. And when I came out, you know, I did.
That made you an expert, right?
It made me an expert.
Having that degree made you an expert.
As soon as they put my name on that paper, I was ready to tell anybody and everybody exactly what they should do and how they should manage their money.
If we'd have been the same age, you could have gotten in the internet fund too.
I would have been in there right with you. And so what ended up happening is I was so ambitious and so confident and so sure of myself, I decided I was going to get an internship where I could start calling on all of the folks that I knew in the community, all of my family, all of my friends, and I was going to go start telling them all the decisions that they should be making with their finances, and specifically the products that they should buy that paid me well, that were going to be in their best interest.
By the way, Bo comes from a background, if y'all didn't know, this might be a dirty little secret. He was pushing life insurance. Look, we buy a lot of, we own a lot of life insurance. We recommend life insurance. But Bo started his career selling life insurance.
That's exactly
right. You were kind of getting close to it, but you weren't telling everybody that you were out there selling life insurance.
I was out there selling life insurance. And I realized pretty quickly that maybe I didn't know quite enough to be able to be offering the advice that I put in there. So, you know, I didn't realize that one of my limitations was all of my knowledge was purely academic. I'd gone through school and I'd learned some things and I'd gone through some sales training, but I probably, at the ripe age of 20 years old when I started doing this, was ready to start telling people exactly what they should be doing with their finances.
Yeah, we talk about this. This is something we tell people a lot. It really does, and this goes back to my internet fund story that I was sharing too, is that it takes 10,000 hours to develop expert status, that mastery. And we all know that, you know, based upon a 2,000 hour work year, that's about 5 years of service. That's that whole Outliers from Malcolm Gladwell and so forth. I mean, that is a great concept to know, and it's the same thing with kind of investing. I think it takes a while for an associate at a financial planning firm or somebody who's doing investment management to kind of understand how everything works, to figure out, you know, what they truly believe of the financial world, and then have some core competency that gets built in. And that's you too. A lot of you guys, when you do it yourself and figure it out, I will tell you, my first two investments, this is embarrassing, was the regional bank fund and the special equity fund from John Hancock. And I didn't even buy the best share class. I bought a B share, which had a huge sales charge on the back end. I mean, let's be honest about what you know and what your blind spots are when you first start doing something.
You know, and I would chalk that one up to inexperience and a bit of naivety. Another thing you can struggle from is overconfidence. So one of the very first things that I did is I took my very first investment course. Fortunately, you know, a lot of my mistakes, and a lot of yours too happened when we were young. I took my very first investment course and I decided I was going to go out and pick some stocks. And I had recognized that a toy company at the time, a big toy company, had just had a major recall. So I was, you know, serving tables, waiting, you know, serving as a waiter at Chili's.
Sure.
I had this thing figured out that because this toy company had a big recall, I was going to go put some money into that. And I had heard about this Sirius satellite thing and they were going to be merging with XM. And so as soon as that merger happened, I was the only person who had figured out that was going to be the greatest investment in the world. So I went and
you're a contrarian. You must have read some Uncle Warren Buffett at some point.
I had figured this thing out. No one else had. So I went and dumped some money into these stocks. And you know the rest of the story, it didn't turn out so well. I didn't recognize early on the fact that I thought I had figured something out. I was not nearly as smart as I thought that I was.
And that's why I do go back. I've already picked on myself, but be careful of the cocktail party discussions. Right. I've had a lot of people that will tell you their wins. They never tell you their losses. So be careful when you're coming across the person bragging to you about their individual stock prowess.